Hello everyone, I could really only keep that joke going for one day, so let's answer some questions. What's the life story of your lava lamp? One time lava lamps were on sale and decided to get one. I think it was Black Friday, it was probably like 25 cents or something. What are your snakes' names? Well, most of my snakes don't actually have names. I think only maybe 3 or 4 of them do. I have a good number of snakes, and sometimes I don't want to get too attached to an animal, so I don't want to name it. Also, one time I named a snake Henry, and Henry laid 6 eggs, so Henry wasn't exactly a male. How many clocks do you have? I have 10 currently. You want to know how many were at my house when I went to the Indiana competition this past weekend, where there was a round of clock? 10. I left all of my clocks at my house. Do you ever want to become a WCA delegate? This is an interesting question because only if it's helpful to the WCA and competitors and the Cuban community as a whole. Because right now I live in an area where there are delegates that can come to this area to do competitions, so I'm not necessarily needed to be a delegate right now. If I ever live in an area where there's not really delegates that can easily access that area in the future, I would definitely want to help out in any way that I could. Whether that's being a delegate or just hosting competitions and paying for a delegate to come in, I'm really open to anything. What is your favorite video game? Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on the GameCube. That was one of the first video games I ever played. And it's a pretty cool one. Have you tried the new red 6x6? I did get a black one. You can check back maybe tomorrow or the next day to see my unboxing and kind of first impressions of it. Is Maru lubricant overrated? Not in the slightest. I use it pretty much every day. Can you roast me? Sure thing, kid. Glow cuber, more like slow cuber, am I right? When I said that just there, when I mentioned slow cuber, I thought of myself. When you have lost interest into curbing, whether it is in a week or a couple of years, what do you plan to do with all those cubes you have? Sell them, give away, keep just because, what? Well, I would definitely like to keep a good number of cubes, just history and sentimental value. There's a lot of different stories behind the cubes. A lot of cubes I'll just, give away or sell really cheap if I don't solve them or don't have any reason that I want to keep them. And besides that, I don't really see myself losing interest in cubing too soon, and by the time I do lose interest in cubing, I imagine a lot of the cubes I have will have lost monetary value, and so it's hard to say what'll ever happen to them, but packed away into boxes, they're not going to take up that much space. I meant cubing. Sure you did. We all know what you really meant. Why don't you have a top shirt? No idea what a top shirt is. I've got a shirt that's on top of my shelf. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I just don't really know. What magic tricks can you do with a Rubik's Magic? Do a demonstration. This is actually an interesting question because I used to practice and play with magics quite a bit, so I actually know a few good ones, and I'll show you the best one. I can make it disappear, just like the World Cube Association did.